Hello students, today's topic, which is electroencephalogram and physiology of sleep, is a motor part of central nervous system. Okay, first of all, let's take introduction about the electroencephalogram. In short form, it is also known as EEG. So let's take definition first. Electroencephalogram is a record of spontaneous electrical activities generated in the cerebral cortex that are picked up from the brain surface through the electrodes placed on the designated site on skull. First, it was recorded by Hans Berger, who is a German psychiatrist. Now, electroencephalography. It is a procedure of recording the EEG, that is electroencephalogram, which is known as electroencephalography. EEG is made up of various waves, and these waves will make various rhythms. Mainly there are four rhythms: alpha, beta, theta and delta. Now these four rhythms will be seen or different sites and depending on the different conditions of a person. Let's discuss all these four rhythms one by one. First of all, alpha rhythm. Now these rhythms will be described in terms of frequency and amplitude, means height of the waves, and frequency means numbers of the waves. And also we will observe in which condition and over which side of the skull they will be seen. Okay, so first alpha waves or alpha rhythm. Alpha rhythm frequency is 8 to 13 Hz and amplitude of alpha rhythm is 50 to 100 microvolt. It is seen mostly at the rest in parieto-occipital region when person is lying with eyes closed. Second is beta rhythm. Frequency of beta rhythm is 13 to 30 Hz, which is slightly more as compared to alpha rhythm, but amplitude is 5 to 10 microvolt, which may be slightly smaller than the alpha rhythm, or sometimes it may be slightly larger as well. So frequency and amplitude will vary in case of beta rhythm very widely. It is seen mostly in posterior region, but when person is awake and eyes are open. So when person is awake and doing some activities with eyes open, this beta rhythm mainly is seen. That's why it is also known as arousal or alerting response. Okay, so third is theta rhythm. As you can see in the figure, frequency of theta rhythm is very low as compared to alpha and beta, which is 4 to 7 Hz per second. Amplitude, as you can see in figure, is large as well as sometimes it is very low, but mostly it is slightly larger than the alpha rhythm, that is more than 100 microvolt. So it may be as low as 5 microvolt or 10 microvolt, and it can be as large as 100 microvolt, but mostly amplitude is large. Seen mainly in children, but in adults it is seen in moderate sleep as well. So it is seen both in adults as well as in children. Now fourth and last one is a delta rhythm. As you can see, frequency is very low, lower than theta rhythm as well. So frequency is only 0.5 to 4 Hz, and amplitude, as you can see, is very large, that is 20 to 200 microvolt. It is seen mainly during deep sleep and in infancy. So in normal person, in adult person, it will be seen only during sleep, deep sleep, and in infant as well it will be seen. But if it is seen in alert state, then it suggests serious organic brain damage. So it is a sign of serious organic brain damage. It is if it is seen in alert state in adult, not in infant. Okay, now let's discuss second part of this topic, that is sleep. So first of all, what is sleep? It is a temporary state of unconsciousness from which the subject can be aroused with appropriate sensory stimuli. So it is a state of unconsciousness, but it is different from the coma, from which person can't be aroused, but from sleep person can be aroused with appropriate sensory stimuli. So that is the difference between sleep and coma. Now sleep is essential for normal growth and development because growth hormone secretion is more during sleep. We'll discuss this later on. Now, earlier it was believed that sleep occurs because of the fatigue of the some areas, some excitatory areas of the brain, like reticular activating system. When this area fatigue because of the continuous activity, sleep occurs. That was passive theory of sleep. But current trend, current belief is sleep occurs not because of this passive theory, but because of the active process, because of the active inhibitory process in areas of the brain. Now, there are some areas in the brain which will cause the sleep when they are stimulated. One of them is raphe nuclei in the lower half of pons. When stimulation of this area occurs, then it will cause natural sleep, almost natural or natural sleep. Apart from this, another area, that is nuclei of tractus solitarius, which is present in medulla oblongata, may also cause sleep, but the main area is raphe nuclei. So that is active theory of sleep, and which is current trend. Now there are two types of sleep. One is slow wave sleep, which is also known as non-REM sleep. Another one is REM sleep, that is rapid eye movement sleep, in which eye movements occurs rapidly. That's why it is known as rapid eye movement sleep. Another term, another name of this REM sleep is paradoxical sleep. So let's discuss both of this type of sleep in detail because which is important. First of all, slow wave sleep. Slow wave sleep can be divided in four stages, stage 1 to stage 4. Now as individual goes to sleep, he advances from stage 1 to stage 4 of slow wave sleep. These are the four stages of progressively deepening sleep during which EEG pattern becomes progressively slower in frequency and higher in amplitude. So let's discuss all the four stages one by one. First of all, stage 1. Now, first subject becomes drowsy and the EEG shows change from beta, as you can see in the figure. In alert wakefulness, EEG pattern will show beta rhythm. It will become so EEG shows change from beta to alpha rhythm. Immediately, light sleep begins, during which the alpha rhythm is replaced by high frequency and low amplitude EEG waves in stage 2 and 3 further. Stage 2, subject then enters stage 2. The amplitude of EEG waves slightly increases in this stage, and the hallmark of the EEG pattern in stage 2 are sleep spindles and K complexes. Sleep spindles are the burst of alpha-like waves having frequency of 12 to 14 Hz and the amplitude of 50 microvolt, each lasting for about 2 seconds. Then K complexes are high amplitude sharp waves appearing irregularly in EEG. Stage 3. Stage 3 is stage of moderately deep sleep, and the EEG pattern is mostly similar to stage 2. The slight difference is it is still low frequency and high amplitude. The last stage is stage 4. This is stage of deep sleep and delta rhythm is predominant over the whole skull. So maximum slowing, that is lowest frequency with large amplitude waves, is seen in this phase. It is very difficult to wake up the subject in this stage, and in young adults maximum time of sleep is spent in stage 4. So here you can see the EEG pattern of stage 4 in which delta waves has been shown. Stage 2 and 3 almost similar with theta waves, low frequency, slightly higher amplitude. Let's discuss some physiological changes which occurs during slow wave sleep. First of all, there will be decrease in heart rate and blood pressure. Then there will be decrease in temperature as well. Then the respiration will become slow and regular. GI activity slightly increases and muscle tone will decrease. And there will be no rapid eye movement. That's why it is known as non-REM sleep. Neurotransmitters which are released during this slow wave sleep are mostly serotonin and norepinephrine. REM sleep, that is rapid eye movement sleep. After completion of slow wave sleep, new pattern of EEG starts suddenly. During this stage, slow waves are replaced by rapid low voltage EEG activity. This is called paradoxical sleep because the EEG activity is very rapid like beta rhythm as seen in awakened state. So by looking at the EEG as you can see in the figure, one couldn't identify whether person is sleeping or is awakened. That's why it is known as paradoxical sleep. But still, in this stage, it is very difficult to awaken this individual. In fact, threshold for arousal by sensory stimuli is raised during this stage. And this stage is known as REM because there will be rapid eye movements during this stage. Another feature of this stage is dreams are easily remembered in this stage. Now let's see some other physiological changes. Here in this stage there will be increase in heart rate and blood pressure as opposed to the slow wave sleep in which heart rate and blood pressure will decrease, and irregular respiration which is also in opposition to the slow wave sleep, and muscle tone will decrease but profoundly, so more than slow wave sleep. In slow wave sleep also muscle tone will decrease, but here muscle tone will so much decrease as compared to the slow wave sleep. Neurotransmitter which are involved in this REM sleep is acetylcholine. Cycles, the EEG pattern recorded during sleep varies in a cyclic fashion, which repeats in about every 90 minutes. That is known as sleep cycles. Now, as you can see in the figure, there are 4 to 5 cycles in normal 6 to 8 hours of sleep. First of all, when person is awake, then it will start with the non-REM sleep, that is slow wave sleep. So from awaken to EEG pattern changes to stage 1, then 2, 3 and 4. Again from 4 to 3, 2 and then REM sleep. So that's how cycle repeats. Each cycle is about 90 minutes in duration. But the another feature that you have to observe, that is duration of non-REM and REM sleep. In first and second cycle, no duration of non-REM sleep is more, but progressively duration of non-REM sleep decreases and the duration of REM sleep increases. As you can see, the thickness of white bars that is showing REM sleep will increases, and the thickening of purple area which is showing non-REM sleep decreases. Okay, now functions of the sleep. Sleep is essential for normal functioning of the body for the following reasons. One, sleep restores strength, both physical as well as mental. Then it will maintain metabolic and caloric balance, thermal equilibrium, and immune competence. Third is sleep also consolidates learning and memory. Fourth, as we have discussed earlier, sleep is essential for growth and development because secretion of growth hormone will occur when there is a deep sleep. Then ability to think and concentrate is also enhanced. This last topic, that is applied physiology. Now there are various clinical conditions which produce abnormal EEG, that is electroencephalogram. So by recording EEG we can diagnose those conditions. Now these conditions, various clinical conditions are: one is various epilepsies. So for the diagnosis of various epilepsies, EEG can be used. Like epilepsies mostly are grouped in two groups: generalized epilepsy and localized, that is focal epilepsy. Generalized like grand mal, petit mal, that is absence seizures, and focal epilepsies like temporal lobe epilepsy, Jacksonian epilepsy. These epilepsies can be diagnosed by recording EEG. Apart from that, diagnosis of various intracranial space occupying lesion like cerebral tumor also diagnosed by using recording EEG. Last thing that can be diagnosed is diagnosis of sleep disorders. Various sleep disorders can be diagnosed by just recording EEG, but clinically also you can diagnose various sleep disorders. So let's discuss sleep disorders slightly in detail. First is insomnia. I think you should know insomnia is a chronic inability to sleep. That is, person is not able to sleep if he wants to. There is insomnia. Narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is a condition in which there is an episodic sudden loss of muscle tone accompanied with irresistible urge to sleep. That is slightly opposite to insomnia. Here, person will fall into sleep even if he is doing some activities, but the episode will be just for few seconds. That is narcolepsy. Bruxism. This is nocturnal grinding of teeth that is mostly associated with the dreams in REM sleep. Next is nocturnal enuresis, that is bedwetting in the night with daytime continence. It is a disorder of mostly childhood, does not occur in adult life. Then the next is nightmares and night terrors. Night terror is also known as power nocturnus. Now, these are also problems of childhood, as the previous one. Usually, it occurs after falling asleep in the stage 3 or 4 of non-REM sleep. Child awakens abruptly in the state of intense fright during sleep with marked tachycardia. But the episode occurs only for 1 to 2 minutes and child does not remember anything in the morning. The next is somnambulism. It's also known as sleepwalking. So it is a condition in which sleeping individual is able to stand and walk about even during sleep. Next is obstructive sleep apnea. Now this condition is slightly serious because see what happens when person falls asleep, then all the muscles will relax. But sometime what happens, muscles of pharynx and tongue also will relax a little bit more, so they will obstruct the airway, so person will not be able to breathe, so apnea occurs. So after a few brief period, apnea will cause arousal from the sleep, so that will re-establish the airway tone, but this arousal will disturb the sleep, so person will not able to sleep properly. Last one is hypersomnia. That is almost opposite to insomnia, in which a patient has a irresistible urge to sleep, and he sleep for days to week continuously. So that is hypersomnia. Okay, so that's it about the EEG, that is electroencephalogram and sleep. Thank you.